Hey gang, hey everyone, welcome to Halftone Productions Presents. I'm Kieran Jack. I am the host of this segment we do once a month. This is our new behind the scenes of Halftone Productions. What we intend to do here is talk about the creative process that we go through. Some of you may be familiar with the Halftone Effect, and where we talk to creators. This is more of an insight into our own side of it, where we create our own comics, write and illustrate them, and a few other things we've got going on in the background. But tonight I'm here to talk about a new project that will be coming on board with Halftone Productions, along with its creator, not creative. But we're really excited to talk about this more. But before we do, I'll jump into a little announcement teaser for it, for anyone who is interested in this. So jump in and enjoy. There we go. So we've got a new project coming on board. It's called Amphibian Noir. The creator behind it is Logan French, and I'm going about to bring him on, which is really exciting. Uh, Logan, welcome
Hello,
aboard,
everyone.
buddy. Logan, people might have to be familiar with Logan from Read This Way
Yes,
podcast, which recently started up with our own Bradley Aiden. But which is really cool. It's had a really good reception, which is great to hear. How's that experience been, um, diving into comics with Brad?
it's been fun. We've been diving into comics together for a while now, and talking about it on a streaming video isn't really far different to how we normally do it. So it's a pretty casual conversation, but we like to delve pretty deep into the ideas and the stories behind what's happening there. So
Yeah,
it's good fun. Yeah, definitely different
yeah,
to what I'm used to.
it's great to be able to watch you guys kind of work together and talk about the manga and anime. Something that as I've gotten to know you guys, I've become a bit more fluent in. Growing up, I did watch a lot of anime, but I didn't really. I was only touching the surface when it came to what there actually was in the world of manga and anime. So that's really cool to have you guys there to talk about it. Brad's got Super RBA, which is very much manga inspired. Eastern styled comic book, which is really cool and it's been very well received. So that's also awesome to have that. But now you're coming on board with Amphibian Noir, which is a project that we've kind of been. I mean, for you personally, you've been working on it for a while, but for us, it's new to us, and we've kind of been working behind the
Yeah.
scenes to bring it together, and to publish it. So, just for the viewers, what does this comic, what is it about, and what does it mean?
What's it about? So it's a story about it takes place in an old I say alternate reality
Mm-hmm.
where everybody is essentially evolved from amphibious creatures instead of monkeys, one would say.
Yeah.
So everybody looks a little lizard or frog-like in their representation, and the story follows three main characters that have formed um, a a group that have a tendency to do tasks that others don't want to do, which is usually cleanup duties or the likes of in regards to uh, uh, killing, snatching, transporting, all that sort of stuff. And they all have their own little backstories behind them, which has been great experience in that and
Mm-hmm.
pushing it forwards. So it's really it's a neo noir. So it's something probably a bit more akin to like Blade Runner
Mm-hmm.
or Chinatown. I don't know if you've watched that either. So it's quite
Yeah, I'm
heavily
familiar with that.
inspired by that neo noir film style that sort of picked up in the sort of 90s, 80s, 90s, along with a lot of the sci-fi stuff that I grew up with in the 80s as well. So it's
Yeah.
influenced by a lot of different areas.
Mm.
But at the same time, that stuff just takes a backstory. That's just um, building. It's a building block for what's going on, and the story is actually more of a personal, internal take. So there's going to be a lot
Yeah.
of moments for the characters that will enlighten you to, how they've grown up and
Mm.
why they do what they do and what pushes them forwards in what they're doing.
Yeah, it definitely is familiar of those kind of those themes you were just talking about in the nostalgia of the 80s and 90s. I guess the noir of it all. It also, for me, it's very reminiscent of the Frank Miller Sin City, um, the Ronin series that he did also back in the 80s. You've got like 2000 AD, a lot of their stuff that it feels very much like that, and it has that atmosphere to it when you're reading it, which I kind of gravitated to when you first presented it to me. I was immediately drawn to it. The art style that you've really chosen and embellishes that immensely, which I find really entertaining as a reader to be able to enjoy the artwork just as much as the story that's being told through the word bubbles or panels.
Yeah. I'm trying to convey emotion in the characters,
Mm,
not just the ones that are, speaking in the foreground, but also the reactions of the characters in the backgrounds,
mm,
and those sort of, helping push the story along. A sentence might not necessarily explain everything that's going on, but the expressions of everyone else around them may help that push along as well. So it's something that's, you know, I'm I want people to reread it. I don't want them to just
mm.
read it once. I want them to read it again and again, and
Yeah.
notice little differences, little things that they didn't notice before. And I'm hoping people will do that.
Yeah, well, I definitely like I've read it a couple of times now, just out of pure enjoyment, and it to me, you pick up on little nuances throughout the series that you might not read the first time around. You might not pick up on, and you go back and read it again. You're like, that's really cool to be able to pick that up a second time around. So that's what I enjoy about it. Any comic, if I can find something that gravitates me to go back and read it, and then I've read it and I find little bits and pieces that didn't they were there in the background, but I might not connected the dots together and like, oh wow, that actually makes sense now. So that to me is really cool, and that's what I found really enjoyable about the series. Those little bits and pieces that came together on multiple reads. So I think with this series, I'm excited to see. Like I've seen snippets of the next part that you're working on,
Yeah,
and for anyone who's watching, this will be a different take on how we've released comics in the past. Where we actually this will be a 40 page at this stage. It could be increased, but these will be parts. These won't actually be issues. And the idea with that is that we're giving you more bang for your buck at the end of the day when it comes to the reading of it. And it also gives us more time to focus on a release rather than pushing out issues, because doing a single issue is quite strenuous compared to doing a trade, which I guess that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it trades.
yeah.
And the fun thing about this is that we've actually talked about it, Logan, and this will be a fully coloured comic book. This will be one of the first
Mm.
we've ever done, which is very exciting. We've been talking about this for a while, and you've been privy to this conversation about moving forward and creating coloured comic books, and even going back and colouring our old releases like Talking Bread and Super RVA. Um, for that to come in, and we've talked about, you and me have bounced off ideas of how we can approach the colouring process. And for people who are interested in the release of this comic, it will be coloured. How have you felt about this whole? I know it was a big thing when I presented it to you, saying we're going to start colouring our comic books. What was that? What was that initial take from it?
Look, I've always been a fan of the black and white format.
Mm-hmm.
In all respects. So I
Mm-hmm.
love black and white comics. I love black and white film. I love black and white photography. It's something that I gravitate to because, to me, the effect of lighting is a lot more effective in a black and white environment.
Yes. Yes.
It draws a lot more drama and nuance to a lot of scenes,
Mm-hmm.
which is what noir is all about, really, in the end.
Yeah. Mm. Well, look, I think in the
So
past with what we've done is a lot of ours have been coloured, and I think going forward, the market as such, they are more enticed to purchase a comic whether it's coloured, which is a strange thing to kind of realise halfway down the track when we've been doing black and white comics now for nearly 5 years. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a wake up call to us, and seeing your comic for the first time and thinking, yeah, it really is great coloured. It really is great black and white, but can we do something different with it? And we've talked about a couple of methods. One of them being Rizzo print, which would be
Yeah.
really exciting. It's very scary to look at that kind of style of printing. I've been doing my research, and whether we do that or we follow down a two-tone style printing um, avenue is a kind of thing we're looking at the moment. But I think with
Yeah.
that said, I think what we've talked about is we've kind of come to an agreement of how we approach it without, scaring ourselves into a corner, rocking back and forth. So, but yeah, I like the idea of the whole black and white thing. I think that's something we've talked about as well, is giving him both options and doing that, and
Yeah.
whether we do proceed with that or not. But like the viewers would have seen with the video we did at the start, it will be going to Kickstarter. All of our projects, bar two or three, have gone to Kickstarter, and we've had great success on there, and we're continuing that now more so. We do have a Halftone Productions Kickstarter page, which we intend to use more often now with our future releases. So Amphibian Noir will be going to Kickstarter, which is really exciting. I'm excited to push it there. We've got some cool little offers on board for it, which we won't say too much now. We were hoping to have the campaign ready for pre-launch today, but apparently there's a backlog in Kickstarter campaigns, and we were unable to get it launched live, which is disappointing. But sometimes these things are out of our control. So once this video is finished, I'm sure it'll go live, knowing my luck. And then we'll push that because this will be going live in February. So we're looking forward to getting that. And Logan's only finished all the pages, which is exciting. So
Yeah, I'm pushing pretty hard.
yeah, he's been
But
working around the clock.
it's one of those. The reason is because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I just want to see what the characters do next. And my creative process. I don't always know what's happening next. I let the characters drive me forwards, and often, a lot of the surprises that happen surprise me. It's just it's the way I do things.
Yeah.
Which frustrates the hell out of you, Kieran, I know, but
It's not. Look, I'm a novice. I was a novice when I started this, and I can definitely relate to you there in that process of kind of just throwing yourself at it and just having a go. And I take my hat off to you because it's something I can't do anymore. I'm too prone to a script, and I need the script there to kind of to guide me. I don't think the script is actually the hearsay. I think there's always room to move the script, whether you're doing your own stuff or doing someone else's. Excuse me. But I think that the way you're doing it did frighten me because I hadn't done it for so long, and I was like, okay, there's no script. All right. But I already had that confidence because you'd shown me the ash can. I knew what the story was, so I wasn't exactly concerned about it for the first part. Going into the second part, well, maybe we might have to talk about a script, but that's that's future talk. That's not jumping onto something now and doing it straight away. It's kind of playing it out by ear and seeing what happens. But yeah, I think that that process has its place, and I think it's worked well for you in this sense of being the illustrator and the writer of the series. And you are, and we'll go back and we'll talk about scripts and all that kind of stuff in the future. But kind of seeing you build it now, rather from being a zine or an ashcan style comic, it's more now kind of evolving into a trade paperback part one, which is exciting because we haven't really released anything like that before. At Halftone Productions, they've all been single issues, floppies, or an anthology. So to have this kind of style now is a little bit different. And to have you kind of just basically let go to do what you want and to bring that, I think it was like, 18 months ago, I was chasing you for Tofu. I really wanted to see what Tofu was going to bring. And you were like, no, I've got something else for you. And I was like, all right, well, let's have a look at it. And, you pitched this one to me, and immediately I jumped onto it. I was on board for it. So that was nearly 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how long it's been this is how long it's been sitting for, waiting to kind of get it going. So I'm, and we're talking about it today. I'm excited. You're stoked about it, to get this live and running. And you've been teasing as well for the last 12 months on your Kickstarter page. Oh, sorry, on your Instagram page.
Little pictures here and there, and
I always stop and check it out and see who's commented and people are talking about it, which is exciting. It's always great to see a bit of anticipation before something comes out. People, kind of clamoring to see what it is and what it's all about. So I'm looking forward to kind of tormenting people a little bit more when it comes to our future releases. But without further ado, we will tonight tease, I guess, the cover for Infamous Noir Part 1. This is the variant cover A for the Kickstarter, which is Logan's cover, which is absolutely a knockout of the park, really. I'm excited about this cover. So that's the cover there. It's not giving me full access, is it? There we go. So that's Logan's cover there. Logan, do you want to just talk about this cover to people who are watching?
Well, I wanted to convey something that sort of covered the direction I was heading in. I was looking for that representation of a fierce bare knuckle drive, something that was not for the faint of heart, not for the everyday person, someone who was looking for something different, something I don't want to use the word edgy, but I'm going to use it, something a bit edgier than the average read. These characters are unforgiving in a lot of circumstances, and you'll find out why as you proceed. But I was really looking for something that made an impact, made an image that people would want to pick up and go, what the hell is this all about?
Yeah. I remember you showing me thumbnails of the options for the first 3 covers, and immediately I was drawn to this one, and it screamed ultra violent, and that was what the series was. It's ultra violent.
It's got its moments,
and I was like, that's the moneymaker right there. That's what will draw people in. I think, granted, there's a few changes I need to make to this cover. I think we talked about the blood being behind it and that. So again, this is not finished art. We'll be obviously changing this up before the release, but that cover, it speaks so loud to what the series is right there and then. And I think that's why I love it so much. It's just, and then the other cover, and that's nothing against the other covers. The other covers were amazing as well. I think they were all great. And it has that brutality behind it. I think they'll really draw people to check out the Kickstarter and hopefully check out the campaign too, and pick up the comic, which is exciting. And then we do have a second cover. It's not exactly finished yet, but we will give a bit of a tease. So I'll be providing a variant cover for the release, still a work in progress, Again,
I
I just
love
wanted
it.
to do something stupidly fun, and there is a lot of fun in this comic as well. It's not complete seriousness and ultra violent all the time. There is humor in it, and I found myself, giggling to myself when I was reading the first ash can of it. So, and again, when I read the first 24 pages, it was top of my head 24 pages, but so I wanted to do something fun and something horrendous at the same time. I
Yeah.
think that kind of bridges it well. Again, this isn't finished art. I've still got a lot of work and detail that I want to put into it, but that's kind of just to give you guys a bit of an appetizer until the show begins, until the chaos of February begins. So yeah, I'm really excited by both of these covers. These will both be options on the Kickstarter. There will be a sketch cover, which we are looking at doing, and a few other little bits and pieces that we won't really talk about now, but they are exciting that we've kind of been working behind the scenes to get organised. So that's just a bit of a taste of what's to come with the Kickstarter and how it's all going to happen. But we're looking towards February for its release, and around I think it was the 3rd, I think it is, of Feb, the 4th,
Yeah.
which is the Friday. So we're looking for a Friday release. They're really good. They're really kind to us when that comes to a Friday release, and hopefully we can make it a bit of an event as well for everyone to jump on, who are followers and who are interested in the book itself. But once it goes live, we'll be able to kind of get the pre-launch campaign kick-started and hopefully generate enough buzz behind it. Logan, with the process of this comic, and how it's all come together, what's it like kind of bringing it to life in the sense of bringing it to a publisher and getting it out and into a larger audience? What's that mean to you?
Uh, it's it's so different to what I've been doing in the
Mm.
past. I mean, self-publishing's fun, um, and I recommend it to anyone who wants to get stuck into making comics
Mm.
and doing that sort of stuff. But just be wary; it's a hard slog, you know,
Yeah.
and it can be heartbreaking. So,
Yes.
if you can make your way through it, and you can find yourself someone who's willing to listen or read your stuff, it works out really well. And shifting over to working with you guys
Mm-hmm.
it's been great. It's been really good being
Mm.
able to bounce ideas off other creatives and work through things that I would struggle to work through myself. So it's been a really good process in that respect.
Yeah, I think that's what people forget about kind of independent publishers. Like when you think about independent publishing in Australia, you're thinking about you know we've got our little one where ours is tiny. Ours is a drop in the ocean compared to some of the ones that are in Australia. But you've got Jesselt, you've got Comics to Movies, Sean Kenn's mammoth publishing label that it's a juggernaut in the community. You've got Dark Oz, you've got Oz Comics. That's just to name a few of them that are out there at
Yeah,
the moment, that are kind of, they're really pushing the boundaries of how they publish their works. And, I think a lot of the overseas market is starting to take notice of that, more recently with a few of the indie publishing titles to be picked up by the likes of Scout, and Scoot, which is really exciting to have them picked up and published.
yeah,
So, I think the collaboration within an indie publishing community is great. The likes of having you on board as well. We've worked together before on In Purgatory
yeah,
and The Talking Bread, and to have you working there, I saw the spark that was there, kind of working with us and kind of collaborating, which was great. And then to come and have you with Brad on the podcast for what they've just launched with Read This Way. That's exciting as well. So, um, excuse me, I'm really excited about this project and how we've kind of been able to all collaborate, and build this up now and release it. I'm really looking forward to getting Kickstarter live in 2022. It's the first release for next year. And I think we've talked about this again. I think there'll be one a year, because this is a new format of
Yeah.
print, how we're going to do this. And there's so much work that goes into a volume compared to a single issue.
Yeah.
And I think this will be a lot easier on you, and it'll be a lot easier on all of us in the end of the day.
It'll definitely give me a laser focus.
Yeah.
I'll be able to, instead of pushing 4 individual titles,
Mm.
pushing one book is
Yeah.
a little bit easier in that respect.
It is.
Not to say that it's not a crap load of work, but
No. And I can vouch that with the apparition that doing a
oh
larger
yeah,
format book is quite strenuous. Hey, Stephen, thanks for joining in, mate. Yes, the rising tide does raise all ships, and it's really cool to kind of have us collaborate on that, and to kind of push forward with it. When I'm not bantering you and annoying you for other stuff, um, which we can't really talk about at this stage. But it's really cool to have you on board for this project, and I'm really excited. So anyone who's watching, February the 4th, we'll be launching this project on Kickstarter. We're still waiting for the pre-launch to get going. We're waiting on Kickstarter for that. But before we finish up tonight, was there anything else you wanted to add, Logan?
I'm not sure. I hope everybody joins in and reads, because it's going to be
Tantalize the audience. Yeah.
It's going to be a wild ride. I can guarantee you that. This is not something that's going to be for the faint of heart, and I feel like it's going to be something makes a difference in my life, definitely, and hopefully makes a difference in a lot of other people's lives as well, in the way they read it and and what they get from it.
Yes, and yeah, I think that's the thing with the project, is giving something back to everyone who is reading and enjoying it. And the great thing with Kickstarter is that we can do that. The Kickstarters, they can get stuff they wouldn't normally be able to get with a single release, whether it's through a publisher or with the likes of at a convention. We're able to do little bonuses and little extras that are not often done with Kickstarters. For instance, in Purgatory has had great success with its enamel pins, Talking Bread with plush toys, the Apparition's been trading cards. So each time we try to do something different with our Kickstarters, and to have that now kind of coming on board with yours, we can kind of do that now. So I'm really excited to see where that takes us and how that all leads. But one thing we've forgotten is to actually share some of the pages. We haven't actually done that, and I thought we might go through and just quickly, before we wrap this up tonight, to actually share some of the pages we've got here. If I can bring that up,
We
we'll just quickly
need
dive
to
into
do a little language warning there.
a little language warning. It's not safe for NSFW.
No, not at all.
So don't have little kids watching. So this is actually one of the coloured ones from the book. Again, it screams bloody and violent, ultra violent, and it's hardcore, man. Oh, I'm really excited to get this out to the community. And it screams your style. What I'm like. I love how it just kind of radiates throughout the whole. Sorry, I'm trying to skip pages and work 2 screens at the same time. I'm just running through the Dropbox here. Like, some of this stuff, man,
that's actually the cover of the ash can.
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
Which there's I've actually sold quite a few of them at cons over the years, so people may recognize it, and
that will be a part of the Kickstarter. Yeah, well, hopefully that draws that audience and they picked up the ash can, because they're definitely going to get a bigger comic book. Well, they're going to get a trade with this one, so it'll definitely worth them coming back. And we will also have the ash can available with the Kickstarter too, which will be black and white. It'll keep its pure form. So basically, what you're getting right now is just some of the pin-ups that you've been working on, which probably people have seen on your Instagram and your Facebook art page. Yeah. Which is really cool to see this now. And I've been lucky enough to kind of behind the scenes and look at it all. That's not going to let me show it. Do we have
Yeah,
some of the
there's our
characters?
three. Yeah, there's our three main characters.
Three amigos.
Which was a bit of fun doing that one. I was looking for that sort of old school lineup feel to that one. So I was quite happy. It captures the characters quite well.
Yeah, and it has, to me, it has that unusual suspects kind of feel about it.
Yeah.
There we go. I got the original cover before I came in and had to put my fingerprint on your masthead.
Oh yeah. That was me.
It's like, no, we need a new masthead. We need a new masthead. It needs to be its own character. So I kind of had to put my fingerprint on that, which I do with most of our projects.
So there's the original sketch.
Yeah, so I got the original, which is, a little bit behind the scenes. I think all of them. Yeah, so we actually can see all of them here right now. So we've got all three of them. Here's the final one. Yeah. So they're all bloody and violent, but that first one for me was the one that captured my attention. Was like that. Let's go with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not saying we won't use these down the track. I'm sure. Well, that's a lie. I'm sure you're going to come. I'm sure you're going to come up with new concepts for the second volume. But yeah, so this is really exciting to be able to kind of start. You're probably not going to let me show the rest of them because they're too high res. But this is exciting. Oh, actually, no. There we go. Going along. That's more
there's my
Instagram page.
Yeah, it's my current picture that I use for my Instagram page. There's a smidgy bit of me in this guy, I gotta say.
Isn't it all creators? They always
this is themselves. True. This is true. They all have a little bit of themselves in there somewhere.
But yeah, so I mean, this is a bit of a taste of what you're getting with the comic book. It has that nostalgia theme, a noir style about it that I really gravitated to, and it is a fucking great comic. I'm so excited to get this out, and I cannot wait to get it on Kickstarter and get everyone. I can't wait to have a copy myself. That's how excited I am. I always love having a physical copy, something tangible in my hands to read. So I'm looking forward to getting this one. But that's just a bit of a taste of what's to come with the pages of the inside of Amphibian Noir. So I think that's about it for tonight, guys. Like I said, these are more of an insight into what's going on behind Halftone Productions. So in 2022, we're kicking it off with Amphibian Noir. Logan is our new creator / title that'll be coming on board for Halftone Productions, along with Talking Bread, Super Ready, Battle Armor, In Purgatory, and The Apparition. So you are now our fifth title we brought on, which is exciting. Like I said, we are a small publishing in the sea of other publishers, so it's exciting to kind of bring another person on board and collaborate with them and bring their vision to life. So yeah, next year will be pretty big. We're gearing up with Amphibian Noir Part 1, which is Feb. Then we've got In Purgatory, which is making its return for the final 3 issues in 2022, and that'll be wrapping up the first story, kind of concluding that part of it, and then I'll be taking a break from that. And we've got Super RBA coming back for issue 5 and issue 6, and they're going to be looking at doing a trade paperback also of the first 3 issues, and then there's a couple of other cool projects that we can't actually talk about this stage, but
it's going to be a busy year.
It's going to be a busy year without that. And we've also got, Halftone Productions has got Read This Way as well.
Yeah.
You and Brad.
You'll be able to see us on YouTube and Twitch.
Yep.
Twitch.
And then Halftone Effect will be making its comeback we'll be going live stream as well with our guests. So we'll have 12 new episodes next year, 1 a month in between this program and also Read This Way, which is exciting. So kind of a new era for Halftone Productions after 5 years of podcasting, which kind of kicked it all off for us. So we've got that, and then we've got a couple of secret projects that we will be announcing early next year, but we're kind of just working behind the scenes on those. We can't really say much at the moment. Lots of sleepless nights. But I think that's all we've all got time for tonight, guys. Like I said, we will be posting very soon with the pre-launch campaign for Amphibian Noir. And Logan and myself will be posting on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram pages, Twitter pages, whatever it may be, whatever you follow social media-wise. And you can jump on there and follow the pre-launch campaign for a February the 4th, Friday evening launch. But yeah, until then, thank you for joining in. Thank you again, Logan, for coming on, taking some time out.
Thank you for having me, as per usual.
We're excited. Yeah, we're excited to have you on board for this project. And thank you for everyone for jumping on and checking it out tonight. Thank you everyone that's commented on the page. We do appreciate it. If you're not, please subscribe to this. We're building this page up slowly with more content and some more behind the scenes footage. So the more we get, the more you get to enjoy. So until next time, guys, thank you very much. This has been Halftone Productions Presents.